All right, so while we got the plastic heating up in the microwave, talk about some of the tools that I use to do this. And this is, very basic. You're gonna need a temp gun so that you can tell what temperature your plastic's at. You'll need a mold. That's clearly what makes this whole thing happen. You'll need your plastic, which we have in the microwave, and at the very minimum, some type of glitter. And that'll give you a clear bait with whatever glitter you choose. You'll need something to stir with. You'll need your injector to inject the plastic into the mold. You'll need Pyrex cups. That's what we use to heat the plastic up with in the microwave. So yeah, that's the basics of what it would take to make your own lures. From there, you got things like hot plates, clamps, different types of molds. This is a open pore mold where you don't need an injector. So that's an option too. If you didn't want to have to invest in the injector off the rip, you can get open pore molds where you just pour the plastic in from the Pyrex cup. All right, plastic should be up to temperature, which is somewhere between 350 and 400 degrees. Check it with our gun. Right at 350. Just been out for a minute, so it should be good. And because we're doing clear baits, we're gonna put this plastic in the vacuum chamber. And that helps to get out all of the bubbles. All right, so we've got some straight clear, really bubble-free plastic. Ready for our colors. That's what I use. So we got it all mixed up. We're gonna throw it back in the microwave for a quick little reheat. Get her back up to temperature, and then get ready to shoot some plastic. So our molds are clamped up, ready to go. We've got our injector. It's all cleaned up, ready to go. You're just gonna stick it down into the plastic, pull some plastic up into the injector, and then go straight into your mold. push it into the mold, hold it for a few seconds, and then top the mold off. You have to play with your molds to figure out how fast and how much pressure you can put on them. It's not a lot. I mean, you're really just kind of filling them up. You don't really have to push down very hard. As they cool, they'll draw plastic down, so you can kind of just keep topping that sprue off. Push all your leftover plastic back in and let it cool. A little bit better shot of them out of the mold. So I've got this big piece of cardboard left over from a dishwasher that we bought, and I just take and spread them out on this to cool off. Once they're cool, you'll take a little bit of worm oil, and I put them in a Tupperware and just kind of squirt worm oil all over them, and that kind of lubricates them, conditions them so that they stay good and clear and don't get milky in the bag. Also helps them slide around in the bag without getting all kinked up and crazy. It's really pretty simple. It's a pretty hefty investment depending on what molds you buy. This mold here is well over $100. This one open pore mold here was like 60 bucks. This shrimp mold here was over 100 bucks. But the Little Ripper, that's a $30 mold. And the difference in it, I don't know if you can see the clarity difference between this and this. These are far more clear, and that has to do with this being a cast mold versus this being a CNC mold. They can polish these things really well with the CNC, where it being cast, cast aluminum just isn't as polished as a CNC can get it. So what that translates to in the bait world is your baits just aren't quite as clear. That being said, I still catch a pile of fish on these Little Rippers. They work. They've got great tail action. They're good. They're a good size. That 3-inch size. I mean, anything will eat it, and they work. They work real well. Well, that was my buddy Randy, who calls every time I'm making a video, hands down. It's kind of becoming a little bit of an inside joke. But here's why you want to keep your plastic stirred. As you can see, that glitter's kind of all settled out of it. If you look at it this way, the glitter's thick down here and there's nothing up here. So we're gonna reheat this, and we're gonna stir it back up, and we're gonna do another injection. So you just keep running it and running it and running it until the plastic gets too low to pull up into the injector, and that's when we throw this back in and remelt everything down. And you'll just keep doing that and doing that and remelting it and remelting it until you get to the point where you can't get any in the injector and you don't have any more to remelt. And I take and throw that into another little cup, and so we'll mix this back in with this at some point, and you just keep cycling it in, and so you don't have any waste. That's the goal anyways. Inevitably you still end up with a box full of colors. All right. A little bit of a mountain of baits here. We got 75 out of 2 cups, and there's probably enough to make another 5 or 10 baits. So almost 100 baits from 2 cups of plastic, which ain't too bad. All right, we got a good fish on. I'm holding the camera between my legs. All right, chill out, girl. You going nowhere. Yeah, that's what I thought. She took that sucker to the gut. Hit that thing like a darn freight train. All right, I don't think she's gonna break 20, but pretty fish. Nice and spunky.